Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga channel. And this is, yes, a follow-up video on the PiStorm32. Probably going to be seeing a lot of these from different users, but I want to let you folks know who've watched my previous videos on the PiStorm32 that I've made that I was having some animation playback issues where I couldn't get AGA animations to play back nice and smoothly, or at least play back as smoothly as they could on the good old Amiga 4000. That was kind of a bummer, but it was a work in progress. I did open up a ticket over up at the GitHub for the PiStorm32 project, so at least now they are aware of it, and I provided links to the animations that I show in this video, by the way, so you can go to that. I'll put that that ticket from GitHub, I'll put that in the description below. But what I've done here is put the PiStorm back in. I've installed this wonderful GPIO pin cover over here that I got from Chris Edwards over at Chris Edwards Restorations YouTube channel. Thank you for that, Chris. That looks awesome. That'll stop it from shorting out on the keyboard potentially. But what I'm going to do now is, a lot of you users out there watching these videos were really, really kind, and you mentioned various software anim players for the Amiga I could try out. Now, keep in mind it is relative, meaning like no matter what software I use, how it plays back on the Pi versus how it plays back on, you know, a quote-unquote real Amiga over there. I mean, those speeds are relative. If it's slow here and it's fast there, it really doesn't matter what the software is. I mean, it's just going to be slower here. But the software that you guys linked me to, Main Actor was one of them. Clarissa was another one. ViewTech, of course, which I've already shown was not having success with. And then another one called Magic Lantern. So I went ahead and tried Main Actor, and immediately kind of ran into some weird issues. I'm going to see if I can reproduce that on the Pi. But I was getting this weird, like, almost digital noise on the screen from trying to play back the anim. And I don't mean the kind of digital noise you get when you have the wrong palette for an anim file. This was like straight up weirdo noise. But when I loaded the animation into Clarissa and played it back, lo and behold, it worked. So now what I want to do, after I've tried that, having done that under emulation, I want to try it on the Amiga now and see if it works. So that's what we're doing, getting this loaded up, going to get Clarissa installed. I'll go ahead and install Main Actor as well, just to make sure that that wasn't an emulation issue causing that weird noise static. So let's get in there. Okay, so here we are in the good old happy land of real Amiga 1200 with the PiStorm32 installed. As you can see, by the way, my PiStorm32 with the, what is this, a Pi 4 in it, continues to boot flawlessly. So let's grab Main Actor, copy it over. It looks like it's already unpacked. You're going to see, you know, you may have seen this in previous videos, but you'll see those UAEM files. That's because I use WinUE as my emulator when I'm testing stuff. So those files, unfortunately, kind of get, you know, they get taken over to the real Amiga. They're harmless on the real Amiga, but they, you know, if you're space conscious, you know, they do take up a little bit. You can turn that feature off in WinUE, but I actually find it useful sometimes. So now that we have Main Actor, yeah, Main Actor, where is Clarissa? Okay, so one of these is Clarissa. One of them is Main Actor. Let's, I don't know, let's try E. Subscriber disk 13. So this was Main Actor. Okay, so we want the other one. We want this one. All right, so we'll just drag this here if I recall. Double click. It will ask you to assign that floppy because it doesn't know where it's at. Boom, boom. Then it unpacks. There it goes. Wee. All right, well, come on, close. You said 40 seconds. So we know View and ViewTech won't play these demo animations properly. They go all wacky weird. Directory Opus, as I showed in the prior video, did do a slightly better job. Let's see what Clarissa can do. So you can just type in anything here, obviously. Okay. And then, you know, write that down, I guess. Okay, so then it loads up here. I have no idea how to use this program, so bear with me. You can see here it's detecting the 68040 in your memory. That's neat, but the whole point here is not to give you a software rundown of Clarissa or Main Actor. The point here is to try and get these animations that I have to load and play on our happy PiStorm here at a nice smooth speed. So here's the big ham6 file. We'll go ahead and load that, load into master. It's going to take a bit because this thing's like 70 or 80 megabytes in size. Okay, so nothing to panic about. It's just saying that anim graphic cannot be represented in AGA mode. Well, this is not an AGA animation, so I find that a little weird, but maybe that's also telling. So let's say yes. Oh, look at that. That is playing nice and smooth. Ham 6 on a PiStorm32. Ooh, it's even, ooh, oop, oop. Okay, well, it did for a while, then it finally said no. All right, so the next animation we're going to try and play, I unfortunately cannot play on any of my other Amigas because the anim file is 180 megabytes, and none of my Amigas have that much memory. They all top out at 128. I won't be able to test it except for here. So let's see what happens now. We saw how it played the Ham 6. It actually did play it with speed, other than after it crashing after it looped a couple times. I mean, it did do it. You saw the speed. So there is the speed is there, at least with this optimized player. So what does that tell us? I'm not smart. I can't give you a definitive answer. What this could mean is the newer animation playback code that this software is using versus the older stuff I was showing, like View and Directory Opus and even Deluxe Paint 4, trying to load the anims in there. It could be that that code is just really old, and that this newer Clarissa code and the main actor code, because these programs, a lot of these came out in like 1993, 1994, closer to the end of the Amiga run, and we're implementing new cool optimized stuff for the Amiga. It's possible that the PiStorm is able to transcode or whatever the PiStorm is doing. It's obviously we've seen it now. We can play it smoothly, so it likes this code better, this newer Amiga software code better. That's my completely uneducated guess of as to why the older anim players I was using couldn't play it smoothly on the Pi. All right, well, after that really long wait, unfortunately, we're getting the same error we did with my file that I created myself, where it says the load is canceled due to a defective file format. Now, there's an error threshold, but I don't know how much that's going to matter. So let's just go ahead and quit Clarissa for now. And let's jump over to that other program, main actor. So we'll go to main view is the animation player for it. So we'll go ahead and get that. Go to downloads and play that file directly. We're going to go right for the Ham 8 version. And one of the things I want to mention while this is loading is that you may say, well, Q, that's great that you got it to play fast on a PiStorm using that Clarissa program. But on my real Amiga with its 68060 using the older programs that you showed, like View in Directory Opus, it played it faster than the amazing PiStorm32. So what about that? What if I want to use those old programs? Well, I would say for now, you've got your answer. If you want to use that older software, that's how it's gonna be. Like the way the PiStorm is currently tuned or working, it just doesn't like those programs, those older programs. Obviously, as we've seen here, these newer programs are able to handle working with the PiStorm more smoothly. So if you want to use a PiStorm in your real Amiga and use all your cool graphics programs, yeah, I guess you're going to want to try and stick to the newer players like I'm showing here. And this sucker is slowly chugging in, as you can see up there. So that's what I would say for that. All right, so here we are with main actor. Now this is exactly the same issue I was having with main actor over on WinUEE when I was emulating it. Two things are happening. One, it can't play it back at speed. Two, the color palette is completely psychotic. So I didn't make this animation. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be a full, NTSC resolution Ham 8 anim file, but obviously it's using a compression setup that maybe that's why Clarissa was just freaking out trying to load it at all. Kudos to main actor for being able to load it. It just can't play it at speed, and it also doesn't have the palette. So that's very interesting. This actually could make the argument that, well, the main actor code must be using the older kind of code that the old View program and Directory Opus are using. So far, this is putting Clarissa in the lead for fastest anim playback. But you know what? To be fair to main actor, let's load up the Ham 6 version because we want to see if we can even get it to load in a way that looks correct. But now we can compare main actor to Clarissa, basically. All right, so here we've got main actor trying to play this file back. This is the Ham 6 version. Yeah, obviously there is something going on with the interpreter in main actor. This really just could be a palette issue, but why isn't it able to find the palette or at least get it from the file? But also, what are we seeing? It's not playing back fast. So main actor, it looks like to have the same issues that Directory Opus, View, and Deluxe Paint 4 have with the PiStorm32. They just can't get up to speed with it. So that's sort of definitive. That kind of tells us that whatever magical awesomeness Clarissa is doing, the PiStorm likes it. Any Amiga would like it, obviously, over the software that you're seeing here. Again, it's all relative. But yeah, I gotta figure out if what this is. Anybody knows? I don't know how to use any of this software. I'm just trying to show the playback. If anybody knows that this is just a simple issue with the like selecting a palette, but I mean all that stuff should be in the anim file, which is me a little weirded out. But you know what? Let's go ahead and jump over to a real Amiga with a 68060 just to do the comparison of the ham6 file using, I guess we're going to use Clarissa because that's the one that can play it the fastest. Okay, so we're just wrapping up the install of Clarissa over here on the mighty Amiga 4000. This has the BFG 68060 in it. I'm not going to bother copying over the ham 8 one because we know that I don't have enough memory to play it, so that's not even worth trying it on the 4000 right now. This is going to take a bit. As I said, the hard drive LED down below is flickering furiously, trying its best to keep up. We'll see what happens. Whoa, that's... Okay, that's faster. I'm both the PiStorm. I mean, it crashed faster. Okay, so there you go. You could scroll the video back and watch time of playback start, time of crash, and you can figure out who the faster one is, the 68060 or the PiStorm, based on how fast this crashed. Now, maybe that's not an error. Is that just it reaching the end of the file? Q, learn how to use the software. We'll hit play again, yeah, and you can see. I mean, again, you can go back and compare. It's pretty darn quick. In fact, you know what? Let's try something. All right, so here we are. We've got the Amiga 4000 BFG 060 on the left. We've got the Amiga 1200 with the PiStorm32 on the right. PiStorm32 is using the native onboard microSD, which is much faster. Doesn't matter, both animations are now loaded. I'm going to try and smash play at the exact same time. So here we go, side by side. It's pretty obvious. The 4000 on the left is zipping through that a lot quicker. Yeah, and boom, done. And here comes... So it looks like it's not crashing, it was just getting to the end of the file. But it spit up that weird error message. You can see there for a second, it looks like the PiStorm did speed up a little bit, like it was getting more throughput. We'll try that one more time. So again, these are, freshly launched Clarissas, loading the animation, not changing anything, and then hitting play on both side by side. All right, well, folks, I think that's going to do it for this video. I've tried to cover all the bases. I know there's been a lot of comments and controversy on this, but hopefully this kind of showed you what you needed to see if you don't have the ability to run these tests yourself. In the previous video, I had updated the description with links for the GitHub area, which has links to the animations I'm playing. And in today's video, I'm going to put links to the animation files in the description as well. So if you want to try these on your own machines, you can do that. But I mean, I've tried to cover the bases here. Thanks for watching. I think I'm finally done with this video.